Hi everybody, it's my turn with you today. So I found another article, so I brought it. I have it here. So as I said before, I went through a number of activities right here, and a lot of people saw it. I don't know how many really. I know it's a number of people, but what I'm so sure about is that not everybody who watched one of my videos followed. I'm still having very few watchers, and as I said before, that doesn't really matter. Well, because as I said, in the first place, this is very fantastic for me, and for someone, for example, if he's sharing this with me, so I think it will be very helpful to follow because this is such a beautiful thing. It helps, it works, and this language is so needed today. So for those who have some level, so I think it's better to fight and get better, improve it, because that's how it goes. The more you work, the more you improve. That's logical. So yeah, as I say, I just well, people know, a lot of people know, for and if somebody just arrives to meet one of my videos right there in YouTube or Facebook. So I'm gonna talk about what I'm doing for a while. Well, I'm doing articles right now. I bring them from media. Still, I right now I am still bringing or extracting them from Google. From those websites of news. I try Sky News most of the time because I don't know. I find them there like easily some interesting and fine article to bring here, and that's how I do it. So before I was doing quotes about about sayings, words, and then I spoke more about them. And before I was doing also another activity which was about my experience in sport, especially martial arts like taekwondo, kickboxing, those sort of sports about fighting. And now I have just changed for short, just I'm making, maybe, I don't know, with my fourth or fifth episode. As I said before, I am not doing it the same way as I did it with the other articles because I was coming here every day, and it was okay. I could do that, but I wanted to change because I've already decided to carry on using this language, which is English. So I will be here always. When I finish this activity, I will come with another one. Easy for me to find something different. So I just want to make sure that I should be coming here and following and improving myself, and offering to the public what I could. And this is for sure. I will keep on always here, but I will never be obsessed as before. I was not obsessed, but I was starting, and so when you do something along the way, you ask a lot of questions, and I did ask them as well a lot, and there is no need to just you know to oblige myself to be coming here. But I think it's just very important to be coming here, bring something when there is time, when it's possible, when it's all right, and that's it. I don't mind. Apart from now, maybe I will disappear from here for a couple of days, maybe 3 days, maybe four, maybe a week, or maybe a month. But I will. But that doesn't mean that won't mean that I give up. Never. I will always come here when all the things I have. Besides than this, fixed up, everything in its place, all good, and then of course I come. But I am not saying that I will be taking so long. If in case I take long, so that won't mean disappearance. That will mean uh, well, I'm busy or whatever. And then when I come, so you will see what I do. And this is it. As I said before, there is no discipline which is like fixed, like every day or a couple of days. I won't say that. No, depends. When I be able, I will come with something. That's it. That's how we will be doing it. Doing it maybe every day, maybe every couple of days, maybe every 3 days. 3 days, maybe 1 week. It depends. When I find time, I find something, I come here with it. I share it. and that's it. So the same, I got three papers: first, second, yeah, second, and the third. And there is a picture in there, so I printed from outside. I had to pay, so I didn't do it in color. It's about climate change. You can see there like a planet. There is a tree. Half of it is dead, and yes, it's and also half of the planet is dead. If it's colored, so it will be very much clearer and and shown properly. But now you can see there is no color, so it's hard to see. But I think it's clear. There is a tree, or you know, on the planet, and half of both of them is dead due to climate change. Yeah, a crisis of climate change. So it's about climate change. I brought these three articles as I did it till the moment when I will find some time. I go to the center for a newspaper, and then I will treat it as well. The same. It's about media, so there is no much difference. The only difference there between them is are the papers. They are different. That's it. So I read the text and then I talk a little bit about it. And because I am showing away, I am not teaching. I am showing away. For those who wanna just practice the same or similar, so I think it's good. Anyway, I go ahead with the text. So, climate change should be treated as an emergency like COVID-19 study says. The COVID-19 pandemic and the climate emergency can no longer be seen as separate crises. Researchers say climate change should be treated with the same with the I'm repeating should be treated okay climate change should be treated with the same urgency as the COVID-19 pandemic, according to a study. The study, which was led by the Glasgow Caldinian University Centre of Climate Justice, reported concerns that resources used for the pandemic response would distract from those allocated to climate change or climate action. It said that the recovery from COVID-19 should be integrated with tackling climate change, and that the public should be able to see climate data as easy as they were able to see data on the coronavirus. This would include real-time reporting of deaths and damage caused by adverse weather. The research consortium, the research consortium included the African Climate Justice Alliance, along with academic partners in Africa, and it focused on the experiences of policymakers in sub-Saharan Africa. Researchers reviewed literature on an online qualitative survey and interviews with public, private, and third sector organizations in the Ivory Coast, Ethiopia, Gabon, Ghana, Kenya, Morocco, Nigeria, and South Africa. A number of those interviewed said that climate change, despite ultimately being more deadly than the virus, had failed to elicit the same level of urgency among governments and civil society. Researchers also looked at how the pandemic affected the implementation of plans for climate action submitted by countries under the 2015 Paris Agreement. These are known as nationally determined contributions. Mr. Dr. Mithika Daunda, Executive Director of PACJA, said, "We are now past the point where we can address the COVID-19 pandemic and the climate emergency as separate crises. This report shows that the pandemic has not only forestaled urgently needed action to halt and begin reversing global warming, but it has also worsened existing to vulnerabilities to climate change, weakened the adaptive capacities of communities and countries, especially in Africa, and raised the cost of future climate action. We therefore cannot have pandemic recovery plans that serve as excuses further delay ambitious climate action. Uh, yeah, to be to be deemed successful, these plans must integrate the twin risks posed by COVID-19 and climate change by freeing up resources for the implementation of NDCs. The study will be used this to inform discussions ahead of COP26, the 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 UN Climate Change Conference in Glasgow later this year. Sky News has launched the first daily prime time news show dedicated to climate change. The daily climate show is broadcast at 6:30 p.m. and 9:30 p.m. Monday to Friday on Sky News, the Sky News website and app, on YouTube and Twitter, hosted by Anna Jones. It follows Sky News correspondents as they investigate how global warming is changing our landscape and how we all live our lives. Our lives, yeah. The show also highlights solutions to the crisis and how small changes can make a big difference. Well, I read the text. Well, for those who understand, of course, it's easy, and I'm slow at reading, so it's easy to catch what the text is talking about. It's about climate change, and it's about its gravity, about its danger on the world, because, as they say it, because clear the climate change has changed so much, and is as one of the key problems that there are in this world beside the pandemic of coronavirus, of course. Climate change, as they say here in this research or this text, it's a real threat to the planet, to the universe, everything. So, as they say, is in the in 2015 there was an agreement in Paris, in France. No, that was celebrated in Morocco, I think, but it was, yeah, decided by France, and they have to take action against the global warming because there's so much pollution in the world. There are a lot of problems. So uh, it's in jeopardy. Terrible, of course, as they say here, and they say that the data of coronavirus has shown so much seriousness everywhere in the world, and people are aware of how dangerous is coronavirus as a pandemic, to health issue. Well, yeah, to it's a health problem. So there is another which is like qualified, like even worse than the pandemic of coronavirus, which is climate change. That's why now a number of studies and experts see it like urgent, and it has to be taken seriously and take action against it, to do something to save the planet. And right. Yeah, as I said, yeah, to save the planet and to do something against it, because it's as more deadly than coronavirus. But what they say here in some places is that they have to show the damage of the climate change, the deaths of that it causes, how it affects the you know the planet, and all the causes, all those terrible causes that it causes. And uh, as they say, it's the very moment to just to do something about it, because as they say, like, coronavirus is almost, controlled. And they want to say that it's the moment just to separate these two issues, just like also to work on climate change crisis. And this is what it's all about. And they say that they have to, of course, people should be aware and take this seriously and act and focus on climate change problems, and sensitize people to say and to have to work on it, like, in such a way which will be, of course, adequate to deal with problems of climate change. And so, yeah, well, let me see if I find something to talk here about, because as they consider in this text says that climate change is also a real problem, maybe is even worse than coronavirus. Coronavirus is just a flaw, but when it comes about, weather, about pollution, about some, it's really a real problem, because people eat, breathe, um, live, and the planet is, ours. So if the planet is not safe, so nothing is safe. And let me see if I find something here to just, I don't know, to add. There is, yeah, I can remember one place here. So Sky News has launched the first daily primetime news show that is dedicated to, to inform and give information about the climate change, to sensitize people, to waken up people and make them see the problem that is climate change, clearly. And yeah, the daily climate show is broadcasted, and it's from Monday to Friday from 6:30 p.m. and 9:30 p.m. So there they can, where they show, its effects, its problems, its gravity, is how to deal with it. Some highlights, like, find, like, things which would be like, reduce it, and etc. How to deal with it. So they want to focus on it in this channel of one of those Sky News. They also will be, broadcasting in YouTube, in app and Twitter, and well, etc. And it will be hosted by a lady whose name Anna Jones. Yeah, but it's the moment, as they say, to take action against this, and yeah, and do something. It's just to save the planet, of course. And if you save the planet, that means saving life. And so, well, I read the text. I'm just training myself first, and then, well, it's there. I cannot just, like, spend 20 hours, just with one text to. And now I'm not just focusing on texts. I'm focusing on how I study and I treat or survey a text. And this is just a way, okay? So I have here some explained words, okay? Because as I said before, you read, you understand, you explain what you don't know or what you don't understand, and then keep on, and try to remember those words which are new, and that's how it goes. Then you add to what you have every time, more and more and more, if you carry on, of course. If not, so nothing is done. Well, the first word is distract. Sorry. Detract. Detract means to decrease, reduce, just like to make something, just like come down, to reduce the number or the amount, or just to reduce, to decrease. Detract. And the second word is survey. Survey is to study, is to research, is to I don't know. It's just like to survey a text. You read the text and then you survey the text to analyze the text, to understand the text, to work on the text until you, yeah, that's this, to survey a text. Survey, that's survey. It's just like I study. Uh, Submit. Submit is to introduce, to present, to display, to just to put something in, or just to show something, just yeah, to, that's it. To submit is to introduce, or to display, or to make something just like presented, and etc. And so I have another word, but well, I think I can do that. It's DNC. DNC. It's about national. It means national. It's an abbreviation of National Determined Contributions, which is about climate change, of course. National Determined Contributions, those national determined contributions to take action against climate change. Now, countries have agreed on this to do it just like, in group, to do it all together, to come together and to deal with it just like at national level, and take it to international level, because uh, it's an assembly that was taken, and there is an agreement on dealing with climate change. So all nations, or I think almost all nations, have agreed. There was something like with Donald Trump, he was just like critiquing this, but at the end also United States is agreeing on this, and so this is it. I don't do very well. I'm just starting this activity. It's been a long time since I don't study, so just accept it. I try to get better, and then you can see me, which is at least not selfish. I'm showing up. Well, for those who study or learn foreign languages, I think you should be working. Should be working, and you should be, continuing doing some uh, constantly, and that's how that's how you get better, and that's how you go, higher and higher, and then you every time you will be like having, you know uh, every time you will be a better speaker, because you add what you know, and that's it. So, as I said before, don't mix other languages. Just study the language of the foreign language that you study with the very same language. No other language should get in. Doesn't help. Just you learn English, so just English. French, just French. Spanish, just Spanish. German, just German. And that's how you just, forget about the other things. And then, of course, you can't be, for example, a very, very good speaker, but you will be a speaker of that language, because you just deal with it with that very same language. So, yeah, this is it. I have nothing more to say. I should shut up, and I should stop it. I am coming next time with another episode, and that's it. I will share it again. Bye bye.